Hi, welcome to Cocollab. Let's get started. Everything began with the dinner table conversations. It was an experience I curated for my sophomore year project. It included 12 guests that gathered 4 to a table and had a guided conversation about sustainability. Although I knew all of the participants, it was a deliberate decision of mine that they were all strangers to each other, as I wanted to bring them together for a shared experience that they could bond over. I ran this a few times and it became fodder for my BLI Capstone Project proposal. Overall, I was interested in creating a shared creative and participatory experience that would bring strangers together and unite them in some way. On February 24th, Ariel agreed to be a part of the team, and the day after spring break, March 9th, we interviewed with BLI. Little did we know that in just a few short days, the world would shut down. And what ensued was probably a few months of just crazy. On April 1st, we received the email. We made it. We did it. We made Capstone. On May 4th, we had Capstone Boot Camp. We had an awesome team come in and show us the ropes and how to get started. With the world changing by the day, we definitely needed help. How the heck were we going to create these meaningful and creative experiences in a pandemic? After a lot of soul searching and trying to find a new direction, we created a 10-page document that would become our brand guide. I remember spending 12 hours going through a 326-page book called Designing Brand Identity, trying to make sense of the differences between a vision statement and a mission statement. Ultimately, we decided that no matter what we would do over the next few months, our mission was this. We create meaningful experiences that foster connection by developing engaging workshops and art installations to U of M undergrad students.
On June 19th, our website went live as our first public presence. It drew inspiration from many different fun web designs, from web agencies to personal websites. I really wanted to highlight our bold, playful color palette and present our brand in a welcoming tone.
Our first project, the Postcard Project, came from the need to feel a part of something larger than ourselves. As seniors, Ariel and I already had a community on campus that we felt a part of. Unlike incoming first-year students and returning sophomores who had lost half of their freshman year, we already had a place that felt like home. And so we hoped that by reaching out to alumni, we could show these new incoming faces that friendships and meeting interesting people doesn't happen just because you live in the same hall, but it happens in serendipitous and new and interesting ways. And that finding their home on campus this year wouldn't be impossible.
We sent out over 300 postcard kits to alumni. We received about 60% back from alumni in 30 different states across the country. The response we got back were from recent grads, 2020, all the way back to the 70s and 80s. One of my favorite reads, "It's been almost 50 years since I met a group I still hang out with on 4th floor of Adam's house."
We created an Instagram account and we used it to showcase all of the postcard responses we had received. It was our online gallery besides our website. Ariel was a champ and posted postcards 2 to 3 times a day for a month and a half leading up to our second project.
From the success of the Postcard Project, we believe that physical interactions, such as crafts, are helpful distractions from our lives converging virtually. Therefore, as part of our fall implementation, we developed the co-collab creative challenges meant to be completed asynchronously, taking only a small amount of time as ways to practice creativity and have a little fun along the way. For each of 6 challenge themes, we developed 5 days of prompts and activities to be delivered daily via email, newsletter, blog, and social media.
Like Ariel said, we had 6 themes that we had planned out. Theme 1, or week 1, was Let's Get Creative, an introduction to including a daily creative practice into your life. Week 2 was Roy G. Bibb, a week full of color. Week 3 focused on design and design thinking and learning about problem solving. Week 4 was about photography. Week 5 was about making things and sharing them and personal reflection. And finally, week 6 was going to be an accumulation of all the things prior. It was going to be one big celebration.
Unfortunately, we decided to discontinue the challenges after delivering 3 of the 6 themes. We had accumulated 27 subscribers by the end of the challenges and had a consistent email open rate of around 50%. Yet we barely received any submissions for the challenges or had any participation at virtual meetups. It was far below the level of engagement we expected and thus did not achieve the goals we set out to achieve, which started to drain away our excitement about this project. So we learned that email newsletters were just not the optimal way to engage people when all parts of our lives are online. It was really hard to set aside time to keep yourself accountable for one extra thing. So, what could be a more effective medium we could employ in the next 2 months? We took a 2 week pause to reflect and do some soul searching again, and to visit some of our previous research materials to find new inspirations. This process of collecting and combining culminated in a new idea that gave us momentum: Cocollab Creative Bootcamp.
Although we called it a boot camp, it was really 5 events, all virtual and experiential, that were full of experiences that challenged the cliche Zoom hangout format. For our first event, we did icebreakers. We asked everyone to send us a picture of the inside of their fridge. Once we had all those pictures, we put it in an online whiteboard service, and we had people match and guess whose fridge was it. I called it Whose Fridge Is It Anyways? The second event was a scavenger hunt, where we performed this event in over 2 days because of people's exam schedules at the time. I had created a list of 35 activities that were a mix of virtual, like find your high school on Google Earth and put it in the slideshow, and physical, like go find the oldest thing in your fridge and compare. Surprisingly, the oldest thing out of anyone's fridge in a college home was a stick of butter from September. For our third event, we all created avatars and walked around a virtual park using a software called GatherTown. People really responded to this one because it mimicked the natural come and go of in-person conversations.
The fourth event was a PowerPoint party where people prepared presentations on any topic they're passionate about. We heard about things ranging from what is UX design to why Michael B. Jordan is the hottest person on earth. The final event was some reflection time at a virtual campsite, again in GatherTown. We had an open conversation about how the pandemic has impacted our lives, the fun and challenges with the boot camp, and took a walk in the warm November weather at the end. Although we had some drop-off over the 2 weeks, 6 participants stayed engaged throughout the boot camp, and the feedback we received was very positive.
Hi! How are
Hi,
you?
doing well.
It's over. We made it to the end of our capstone experience.
Yeah, I'm super proud of what we've accomplished in the past 7 months.
Yeah, it honestly feels like a lifetime.
Mhm.
Now that it's over and we're stopping, do you have any highlights, takeaways that you want to share?
Yeah, so the world has really been changing day by day, as we all know it, and there were a ton of ideas that we were really excited to experiment with, but over the process, our initial intention really remained unchanged. It was really helpful to reflect frequently on it and stay grounded and really focus on what we wanted people to get out of the experiences that we created. And as an undergrad myself, I can really completely say that I got to connect with people that would really otherwise be strangers with me and get to see some really amazing stories and personalities.
I completely agree. That's also one of my favorites. I guess to touch on one of the challenges that we both had is we started off in a pretty stable place, pre-pandemic world, who is she? And then we're thrown headfirst into a constantly changing world day by day. It was a vigorous cycle of constantly needing to learn, and think on our feet and pivot. And it was a very vigorous process of always having to learn something new and then refocus and replan, which I'm really proud that we did it. We accomplished great things. Okay, well, I guess it's time to sign off one final time for Cocollab. So, bye!